Have you known a man who failed again and again and again in his life, yet he is known as the icon of success and leadership? Have you known a man who dreamed his own assassination? Have you known a man, when he died, people washed his blood by their own clothes and kept it in their homes when he got assassinated? Yes, I am talking about Lincoln, Abraham Lincoln. Today I will be delivering my speech on why Abraham Lincoln was the best president of the United States of America. A very good morning, first of all, to my respected principal and all of the faculty members and teachers and all of you, my dear fellow students. So, before starting my speech, first I would like to shed some historical light on the life of Abraham Lincoln. So this is the history of Abraham Lincoln. He was an American lawyer and statesman, and he served as 16th president of U.S.A. until he got assassinated. He had major contribution in Civil War, and he also succeeded in preserving the Union, abolishing slavery, bolstering the federal government, and modernizing the U.S. economy. And now, Lincoln was born in a very poor family. He was born in a poor family. In fact, he was born in a house made of woods known as log cabins. And he was from the state of Indiana of U.S. He was self-educated and he became a Whig lawyer, a Whig party leader, Illinois state legislator, and U.S. congressman from Illinois. And Lincoln was largely self-educated. His formal education was done by itinerant teachers. Now these teachers, itinerant teachers, are called visiting teachers or traveling school teachers. यानी जो रास्ते में चलते हुए आपको पढ़ाते हैं. And he was a persistent reader and he retained lifelong interest in learning. Now I would like to tell you some of his reading habits, what he was reading in his early life or in his childhood. Now Lincoln was very fond of reading the King James Bible. Now you can understand now he was reading his King James Bible in his childhood and in his early life, and that's from where he learned his moral codes and conduct and established his rock solid character. And then second book is also a very famous book, and it's called Aesop's Fables. Now this Aesop's Fables book is which tells about the story of tortoise and hare, केचुए और खरगोश की जो story है. And in this story we learn about never to give up. And no wonder why Abraham Lincoln really learned never to give up. And we see out through his life that what he was reading, he was implementing, and he surely never gave up. And then third book is of John Bunyan's The Pilgrim's Progress. Now this John Bunyan's Pilgrim's Progress is a very famous book in Christian world. Maybe Christian people know about that. In Urdu it's known as Masihi Musafir. And this book tells about a Christian believer's suffering and his endurance and all of the hardship. But in all of that, he must remain persistent to carry out his call. And no wonder why again Abraham Lincoln learned this lesson to be persistent, and we know through his life that he was really intensely persistent. And there are many other books, but I would only mention the last of it, and that's the autobiography of Benjamin Franklin. Now who was he, Benjamin Franklin? Now Benjamin Franklin was an active writer, scientist, inventor, statesman, diplomat, printer, publisher, and a political philosopher. Now the kind of people Abraham Lincoln was studying and reading, he surely became. He became a powerful politician. Now, that is why our English teacher, Mr. Fayaz, always says to us, read books, read books, read books. Why? Because today's reader is tomorrow's leader, just like Abraham Lincoln. Now, as I'm done with the history, a brief history of Abraham Lincoln, now I would like to tell you some very interesting facts about his love life. So, Abraham Lincoln first fell in love with a lady named Anne Rutledge. But as he fell in love with that lady, but eventually that lady died. And again he fell into in love with another lady by the name of Mary Owens from Kentucky. But this relationship ended up being unsuccessful. And finally, Abraham Lincoln married the lady by the name of Mary Todd, and he had 4 kids from Mary Todd. 4 बेटे थे. but what happened? His 3 sons died and only one remained. And history tells that Abraham Lincoln went into clinical depression known as melancholy. And he suffered melancholy. Now here's the thing that we can learn from his life. Abraham Lincoln not only faced failures, Abraham Lincoln not only faced failures in his life, but the death of his sons and death of his lover. Yet he never gave up as a man or even as a leader. So now this was yet brief yet thrilling history of Sir Abraham. Now I would like to tell you some of the qualities of Abraham Lincoln, because as you know that my speech is why Abraham Lincoln is the best president and or considered the best president of U.S.A. Now I have some of the qualities of Abraham Lincoln, and they are 8 in number, although there are many qualities, but I would like to state just 8 of them, the major ones, okay? So the first quality is that the people that opposed Abraham Lincoln, he was able to make them his friends. And second is that he was able to find common grounds with them. And the third is that the mistakes that his teammates did, he took it as his own responsibility. And the fourth is that he was able to acknowledge his own errors, learn from them, modify his character, his behavior, and improve. And that's why in U.S.A. he established a culture of learning. And the fifth quality that he had was that whenever he had success and he found success, he never credited for himself. He always shared his success with his teammates. And the sixth is that Abraham Lincoln was known as the man who gave chances. He even gave chances to the people that were very weak. He used to give chances to the weaklings in his teams as well. And the seventh is that he was known as a man who was very gentle. He had a gentle behavior. So whenever he got angry or frustrated because of someone, he used to write a letter, and that letter was known as hot letter. जिसके अंदर वो अपनी तमाम दिल की बातें लिखते थे, that he held a grudge against someone. But when he used to write that letter, he didn't send that letter. He used to keep it aside and did not send it because he was such a gentle person. He was quite gentle. And the last quality that I have is that he used to motivate soldiers on the battlefield, and he used to even counsel and console the sick patients in the hospital all by himself, personally by visiting him. And that's why the public was in love with Abraham Lincoln. So now these all qualities was not enough to make him the best president of U.S.A. It was his persistence and courage in failures. It was his persistence and courage in failures, or should I put this way, he failed his way to the success that made him not just the best president, but best human being as well. Now we are heading toward the end of my speech. Now I'll narrate to you the list of failures that Abraham Lincoln went through. That's why he's very famous. So here we go. So he lost his job in 1832. He was defeated for the state legislature in 1832 at the age of 22. He failed again in business in 1833 at the age of 24. The woman he loved, his sweetheart, died in 1835 at the age of 26. His 3 sons died and he got into depression. He had nervous breakdown in 1836 at the age of 27. He was again defeated for speaker and lost a congressional race at the age of 34. He again lost congressional race at the age of 36. Now listen more. He lost a senatorial race at the age of 45. He was defeated for nomination for Congress in 1843. He was elected for Congress in 1846, but he lost renomination in 1848 again. He was rejected for land officer in 1848. He was defeated again for Senate in 1855. He was defeated again for the nomination of Vice President in 1856 at the age of 47. He was again defeated for U.S. Senate in 1858. And finally, at the age of 52, he became the President of the United States of America in 1860. He was stubborn, persistent. Now, I would like to end my speech with the philosophical quote of my own. I would like to end my speech with philosophical quote of my own, and that is, the real name of a man is not his name. The real name of a man is not his name. The real name of a man is his life, the way he lived. That's why the real name of Abraham Lincoln was stubborn, persistent, gentle warrior. Thank you very much.